Hey guys, what is up? It is James Penrose back again for my next video. Welcome to another Simpsons episode review for you guys. And this one is going to be hitting quite close to home, if you know what I mean. Because, fun fact, this episode actually aired the day I was born, November 2nd, 1997. And yeah, believe it or not, it aired the day yours truly was given birth to. And this is going to be coming from season 9, the 5th episode, I believe, the Cartridge family. And this episode was mainly to portray guns in a good light, actually, to portray the fact that, guns are for protection and that, it's, for self defense and all that. And for the most part, this episode did do its bit to show that in a neutral point of view. But there were times where Homer, in particular, took this gun that he owned way, way too far. I mean, to think it all came from at the start of the episode where the Simpsons, they go to a soccer match. It's Mexico versus Portugal, and the players on the pitch, the kickoff happens, and absolutely nothing happens. Halfback, he passes to the wing, passes to the centre, passes to the wing, passes to the centre, and the fans are all pissed. A fucking huge riot starts from there. Barney Gumble, groundskeeper Willie, Principal Skinner, Lenny, Mo, they're all getting in on the act, and it leads up all across the night where houses are getting set on fire, cars are getting set on fire, houses are being burgled, robbed, trashed, you name it, everything happened that night. And it led to the point where Marge was like, you know what, Homer, we need something to protect this family ASAP. And Homer's like, don't worry, you deserve peace of mind, and peace of mind is what you shall get. And how does he give a peace of mind? By getting the deadliest gun he can find, a handgun. And the only problem with that was the law requires a 5-day waiting period before Homer can purchase the gun. And within those 5 days, Homer is literally, it's like living hell for him. He's got all those bullets all over his shoulder as he's sitting down just waiting. And the funny song was coming back there. I think it was the waiting is the hardest part. And just, I mean, I tried. I mean, I'm not a best singer, but nevertheless, that is a good song. And then it hits the part obviously where the 5 days are up, and that's where Homer can finally get his gun. And when he does get his gun, the way he reveals it to Marge, oh my god, it's like, I got a surprise for you. Marge shuts her eyes, and he's like, okay, open your eyes, and bam, the gun is right there in front of her face, and she shits herself. She's like, no, 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 no. Of all things, no, not this. I don't want guns in my house. And she references back, obviously, to the past, and I like this, where Maggie shot Mr. Burns, and Homer is like, what? I thought Smithers did it. And Lisa's like, that would have made more sense, and it kind of would, wouldn't it? Of all, but Maggie of all people, and so Marge is constantly protesting, no, 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 it's not safe. We can't have this weapon in our house. And Homer's trying to explain it's not a weapon. And Homer's like, you know what, we need to take you to an NRA meeting to convince you otherwise. And if you still don't think guns are great, then we'll just argue some more, because Homer ain't gonna take no for an answer for this. Because again, buying this gun, he's got his best interests at heart, which again is to protect the family. So then you hit the point where they have the NRA meeting, and you have people like Lenny there, and explaining how you can use weapons to kill assault animal, deadly animals, stuff like that. I don't know. And you have Mo up there talking about how one night he was closing up the tavern, and all of a sudden some young bellend comes in and tries to pretty much kill Mo, but and in self defense shoots him in the spine. And Homer is like, you know what? After hearing all of this, I'd like to become a member of your wonderful club. He basically joins the NRA from that point, and Marge is still way unconvinced that you cannot join up with these gun nuts. And so then it hits the part, and I've got notes on my laptop here. So Homer at this point, this is where you can start to see he's got the gun with him at all times. He takes it to the quickie mart, and Apu is like thinking it's a robbery or something. He's like, "Whoa, do not shoot! Just take the money and get out." And but Homer initially is like, "I would never, or would I?" And he's thinking in his head, "What would life be like if we robbed the quickie mart?" And then you have a scenery of kind of like of what it would be like, where Homer's got like this rich mansion, Marge is in a bikini dancing, and Homer's just there with his suit with the gun like this, and that's where Homer's like, okay, I'll do it. I'll rob the quickie mart. Just put your, and he's in the car in a hot dog, and he's like, no. And literally, again, he doesn't even think about it. He just went. And then again, it gets to the point where he goes back to the house. Lisa's like, the basketball's on the roof. Can you help me get it down? He's like, oh, sure thing. Boom! Shoots the basketball. It comes down. Believe it or not, it works. Only problem is, it then goes flat, obviously. And then Homer's like, oh my god. And then Homer's like, do you want me to get a cat down? And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Lisa's like, no, 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 thanks, don't do that. Yeah, that's how you know. If he's asking if he wants to shoot, that's going too far. And then you hit the part where Marge at this point has had enough, basically, because they're eating dinner at the dinner table, or the breakfast table, as Homer would say, or thought it was. And Homer's like, oh, you know what? If it makes you feel bad, I'll just put the safety on. So he thinks, and then boom, shoots the gun by accident. And he tries to click another button, boom, shoots it again, and at this point, we're like, yeah, probably just put it down. And Homer's like, okay, I better just put it down. And then the gun shoots again, and this time the bullet ricochets off a fucking frying pan onto a knife, and the knife goes flying into a picture of Marge right into the eye. And even Lisa was like, "No offense, mum, but that was pretty cool." And there, that's where Marge has had enough. That's where she's 100% deadly serious, and is like, "Well, you know what? I've put up with a lot in this marriage." And Homer, as he's about to speak, the kids are like, just don't do it. Just hear her out. Literally, come on now. And Marge is like, well, you know what? For the first time since we actually got married, this is the first time where I've actually feared for you, me, the kids. So if you love us that much, you care for us that much, you will get rid of this gun. And after a long look at each other, that's where Homer's like, okay, you know what, fine, I'll get rid of this gun for you. And they hug, and Marge is like, oh well, I'm a lucky woman, and Homer's like, yeah, I'm a wonderful man. And well, I mean, he is. He's a great guy, you know. Self confidence is awesome. And yeah, getting rid of the gun, I don't think so, because then you hit the part where Bart and Milhouse are looking in the fridge for fudge sickles or whatever the hell they call it, and he looks in the vegetable crisper or in the freezer or whatever, and bam, the gun is right there in front of his face. And that's where Milhouse has got a bloody apple in his mouth, and Bart is teasing the fact that he's going to shoot the apple in Milhouse's mouth. And like, what the hell? And Marge comes in, absolutely fucking. Her blood is boiling at this point. If it wasn't before, it is now. Marge is like, whoa, you can't have this in your hand. And Homer's like, oh, I see Bart gets to have a gun. And Marge is furious, takes the gun right into his face, and is like, you lied to me, of all things. You lied. You said you'd get rid of this. And Homer's like, well, what are the odds he would look in the vegetable crate? What? How would he do that? And Marge is like, at this point, of all the shitty, stupid, dumb things you've ever done in your lifetime, this right here is the most disgusting, despicable I've ever seen in my life. And that is where she draws the line, and she's like, well, until you decide what's more important, your gun or your family, we cannot live in the same house. And that's where she takes the kids out of the house just to leave Homer all on his own with his gun. And Homer's initially pissed. He's like, well, this is the thanks I get for protecting my family? Then fine, go. I'll be just fine. And as soon as Marge shuts the door, Milhouse is still there, and Homer's like, you know, to cook dinner? Milhouse is like, oh, do I? And gets all the frying pans and whatever. He has no idea. So then it hits the part where Marge, the kids, they need a place to stay, and they initially go to party in Selma, and I think it was Selma that says, "Oh, you know what? Try the Sleep Easy Motel and all that," and that's where Homer has an NRA meeting at his own house. It's a meeting for all the guys at the NRA, and Mo is like showing how you can turn one gun into 5 guns and all that blah blah blah, and out of nowhere. Homer he's got a beer in his hand, and all of a sudden, boom, shoots the beer, and it just opens like that, and everyone is like, whoa, what the hell? You use your gun as a can opener? What's wrong with you? Are you out of your mind? And he's like, well, I use it for everything. Just watch me turn on the TV, and funny enough, as he does turn on the TV, you see a guy falling down as if he has been shot, and literally everyone is in shit. Even Krusty the Clown, the look on his face is unbelievable. It takes a lot to shot this guy, I'll tell you that much. And that's where everyone is really realizing, okay, yeah, it was sort of understandable at first. You're getting this gun for protection, but now you're using it for things like this, knowing full well the consequences and, you know, the dangers that it possesses with you handling a gun like this. You've took this too far. And that's where his NRA membership card gets torn to pieces, and he even gets kicked out of his own house. And he's like, until the meeting is over, you need to step out here. And they're pretty much just living it up, getting pissed and all that shit, listening to music while Homer's just outside on his own. And so the Marge kids, they're still at the Easy Motel. The kids are playing with the beds, and, you know, having a race with them to the wall. And Marge is just out there, you know, still, even though she's still pissed off at Homer, still at the same time is worried about him, and hopefully, you know, he can still get rid of this gun. And you see an image of Homer shooting all the light bulbs in the house one by one. Hits the last one. He's completely in the dark, and at that point, he's realized, I fucked up here, big time. I need my family now. I can't live on my own. I can't do this. And so that's where Homer goes to the Easy Motel to try and find Marge. Finds Marge, even though he initially goes to all the wrong rooms, one by one. And so that's when they talk, and you ended up having Homer explain, you know, the gun, once and for all, it's gone for good. After Marge is trying to ask, what about it? Have you still got this or not? And Homer's like, for once and for all, it's gone for good because I realise I just simply cannot live without you guys. And I have been acting ridiculous with this gun. And while Marge initially she buys into it at first, and she's like, well, come on, kids, we're going home and all that because the Easy Motel wasn't the best place to stay now, was it? If you saw what was going on around it. So as they're about to leave, then all of a sudden Snake comes in out of nowhere with a knife with on Mayor Quimby's throat, and he's like, "Everyone, hands up right now!" And then that's out of nowhere. That's where Homer goes, "Just freeze!" and has the gun right there. And once again, Homer like, I mean, it's bad enough that he lied the first time, but to do it again, but in this circumstance, it made sense because for once, yes, this was for family protection and to save Mayor Quimby's ass because that's when Snake goes, "Hands up!" Mayor Quimby gets the hell out of there, and Marge is like, what the hell? You lied to me again! And as Homer is trying to apologise and explain again, Snake catches him off guard, steals the gun off him, and Homer's like, oh, well, the joke's on you. There's no bullets in that thing. And Snake's like, all right, then give me the bullets. And Homer's like, okay, don't shoot. And I'm just like, you've got the bullets in your hand. So as he gives him the bullets, and that's where all the rest of the NRA guys, Mo and everyone else, has guns in their hand to Snake, and he's like, drop it. And he does, steals the money, and gets the hell out of there. And once you see Marge pissed off at Homer once again, Homer then goes, well, you know what? This gun, even though I messed up, you have to understand, having this gun was like having a superpower, if you will, that I felt, you know, that I was in control, that I was just, you know, on top of the world. Like when Gun has, like if he, like God was, if he was to have a gun or anything. So that's where he begs Marge to just take the gun and get rid of it, because if I have it, I know I'll just lie to you again and again and again, which he has done on 2 occasions now. So Homer leaves with the kids. Marge, as she's about to put the gun in the bin, sees a reflection of herself in the mirror with the gun, and she's like, I look pretty cool with this gun. And she's like, and all that, and then puts the gun in her freaking purse in a bag, and you see a shot of Marge walking around like she's the boss with serious music, and leaves, and it ends right there in a funny manner. And that does make Marge kind of look a bit of a hypocrite, if you ask me. But nevertheless, that was a cool way to end it, and this episode really was well done. Again, the fact that this originally aired on my birthday is ridiculous, and this is one of my favorite episodes of season 9, and what was another great season for the Simpsons. So other than that, guys, this has been my episode review for the Cartridge Family season 9. Let me know in the comments, what episode do you want me to review next, whether it's again going back to the old episodes from seasons 1 to 10, where I feel like the Simpsons were the best of all time, or maybe a modern episode that I haven't seen before that I can, you know, go back and watch again and again and give you my thoughts on it, which I haven't really done much episodes from like seasons 20 or 30, in fact, little to none, so that would be different, so let me know. So other than that, guys, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you guys like this video, comment on this video, and subscribe to my channel, and all I can say is, peace out, my brothers!